It's finally the 1:40 turn at Vauchamps, which means the Emperor will be arriving shortly. With him will be the Old Guard Infantry Division. That will make, I think, Napoleon and 4 marshals on the field here today. Do a quick scan of the field. We still have the Guard Cavalry here, south of the road. I'm still holding them in reserve. Moving across north of the road, we still have the 2nd Heavy Cavalry Division and the 2nd Light Cavalry Division moving, trying to sneak around the flank there. All that said, don't like the charge opportunities open to us here. We can't really do a lot of damage, a lot of guns in front of us. So we're just going to move right on with the French movement phase. So we'll take a look at the French dispositions. Here we have the Old Guard infantry marching up the road. They're going to slow down when they hit the town. See Napoleon just a little bit ahead. There's that routed unit. These ground conditions are maddening. They're sapping all the movement from just about everybody. So the French aren't able to really move forward very far, so they're going to stay just in skirmish and medium range of the guns there. The heavy cavalry will remain right there where they are. Looking across, the light cavalry was able to maneuver down the creek here. These 2 hussars are going to try to jump 2 creek beds, try to get far in the rear, stretch out the Prussians. Now the Old Guard is kind of a long way back here. I opted not to force march them. It's just too easy for that to backfire. Now with it being the 1:40 turn, we only have to 3:40 to the end of the game. That's 6 more turns. I would truly love to blast through those last 6 turns, but that whole earning a living thing just keeps getting in the way. So we will, I think, just go right into French defensive fire since none of the coalition forces are in contact. Faulty tripod. So we have the French artillery arrayed around in sort of a little arc here, and some skirmishers at 2 hex range. So we'll just take some shots with those guys. Probably our best shot is right here with those horse guns. They can hit that guy or, well, just off the screen is a square. So I think maybe we'll give a shot at that square. That would be 8 against the 4. And we rolled a pretty good number, so that is a casualty on that square. I think they will pass their morale check pretty easily. Those are some decent Fusilier morale unit there. So now we have some 2 hex range skirmish fire we can conduct here. Low dice rolls, so no losses there. And we have some crisscrossing artillery fire going on here. They're going to fire at those skirmishers to no effect. Had another fire across the expanse here at a battalion far in the distance. See the Prussian battalion right there, to no effect. We have another fire here against those skirmishers. And finally, we took one last shot right here against that Russian regiment. We rolled a good number, so that is going to cause a casualty. Since it's the second casualty, there will be no morale check. But the Russians are not happy. They want to get the heck out of there, and they haven't been able to. On the north side of the road, we really only have some artillery facing largely other guns. But we have one spot right here with these horse guns we can fire down the line at that Russian musketeer regiment. And we rolled a really nice big number in the 60s, so that is a casualty. From the French perspective, even better. The morale dice were under 16. Since the Russians have a morale of 25, that's going to be a morale check failure, and they're going to need to retreat. This is yet another side effect of being stuck there and not being able to move when they wanted to. Now we see the lines behind them are basically completely occupied. Prussians are completely blocking their retreat. So we're just going to run them down the road here, which means they're going to stack with a Prussian battalion, which is a no-no. That'll cost them a morale check penalty, so we'll roll the dice for those Prussians. Luckily for them, they rolled a nice high 62, so they will pass. So we aren't in contact anymore, so there's no melees. The only thing left to do in this turn, or this half turn, is to try to rally that routed French battalion. Back near the town, we have that one battalion. They are routed. They've lost. Well, they're on a morale level as well. They are a morale of 31. We rolled a 34, so there's no chance. They're still routed. So we'll retreat them back to the town and then pick it up with the coalition half the turn. So picking up the coalition side, we have a great gaping hole with the French cavalry trying to get on this north side here. We have a little bit of cavalry we'll have to use to try to block them. Plenty of infantry, but with the ground conditions what they are, it's really hard to move that infantry. Otherwise, we're really solid south of the road. We have a good line of squares, good line of infantry here, and a very strong line of guns right in the center of the road here. So we're not going to charge anybody. We need our cavalry to counter, so we're just going to go right into the coalition move phase. And going from the south side, a little reposition here by the 10th Brigade. They were able to get their guns up. Russian 8th Division is going to stay right where they are. On the very positive side for the Russians, they were able to limber up and retreat. The Prussian 12th Brigade made a hole for them to move down the road. So that all sort of worked out pretty well. On the bad side, the Prussian cavalry is still literally stuck in the mud. They were unable to reposition themselves very effectively. Just barely got these 3 regiments. So there's still a big gap here that the French are hoping to exploit. The final good news was that the Russian 22nd Division managed a very good ground effects roll, so they were able to move full movement potential to start repositioning north of the road. So both armies again are just out of reach. No one in contact, so we're not going to have any defensive fire. So we'll just move straight on to the coalition offensive fire. South of the road we've got skirmishers and some of the 10th Brigade foot artillery there. So we're going to Take our shots, starting here and working our way across. Don't expect a lot of casualties, but if we can get anything, that'll be a plus. So our last roll of dice. No, it's not quite enough. It was a good roll, but these skirmishers are just a little too far away. Now we have some artillery right in the center. They can probably get a decent shot off. Actually, we can't get any decent shots off. Everybody's just still too far away, but we'll go ahead and take our shots anyway. So these horse guns rolled the last dice here, and they rolled pretty well. There's a two, nah, even that well, they couldn't get a casualty. So no fire casualties, no one in contact to make a melee attack. So I think we're just going to try to rally what needs rallying and call it a turn. First, just east of the town, we have that Russian regiment that disordered. Rolled a 12. That's bad. That's a definite rout. So even with the general with them, they were unable to stand the ground. Finally, far back, almost to Champaubert, we have that Russian beaten down battalion. Even with the general with them, they just will not rally. So we have two routed units. Since we're on the 140 turn, we'll be coming up on another morale level check. That might hurt the Russians, not sure. Other than routing those units, retreating them, that'll be the end of our turn here. So with the conclusion of the turn, we see the south side not moving very much. The guard cavalry remains a big threat, but currently they're not going to be committed without a real exploitive purpose in mind. The guns and the skirmishers are taking potshots at each other. Otherwise, no real movement through the center. On the north side, the French are still trying their little flanking maneuver with their light cavalry. The coalition were just able to get some forces moving that way to counter it. Marshal Blucher has been sitting there for quite a while. Probably going to get him involved with the cavalry once that develops over there. Finally, we have the arrival of the Emperor and the Old Guard. They probably are 2 turns away. They might be in time just to blast the coalition line. Just checking in with our victory conditions. It'll be the 2 p.m. turn. This is our last chance to achieve a substantial victory. We would have had to have cleared all 3 of those towns, and we did not. Now, the way it's looking, I don't even think we're going to get a French marginal victory. And since the coalition victory conditions have already failed to be met, their only chance is to kill Napoleon, which seems kind of unlikely. This game is looking like a draw, but we'll keep playing.